I mentioned last week that I want to start streaming more regularly, and that I'm going to be doing it kind of early-ish in the morning, I would say. And that's, I gotta work. So I think this is going to be about my normal time, 9:30 in the morning, something like that. That might be early. I'm not really sure, but I know that this is certainly an earlier time zone, later time zone, I guess, be more specific, than many places in the world. So hopefully this will be a little bit more viewable for some of you. So what I'm going to be doing, hold on just a second here. A lot of people have been talking about Daigo, who did not do well at the Topanga League, which just happened. I guess I won't fully spoil the results, but it did not go in his favor. And a lot of people were talking about why that is Daigo washed up? I feel like we have that conversation every year, and it never ends up being the case. Maybe Ryu, though, is washed up. Maybe Ryu has problems. I think that probably is a little bit more likely, but in either case, I think he's a very strong player, and I do think he made some mistakes. We're not going to be analyzing the Topanga matches themselves. I don't really feel right about that, without talking with them about it and making sure that it's okay. I think that's kind of crappy. So instead, I'm just going to be looking at other matches that other people have uploaded of him just playing online. And I got that from, the first one is from Dead Ace BS on YouTube. I want to, specifically mention all the people whose channels I follow for sort of daily Street Fighter V uploads. And hopefully that will be the case as well with other games. I really hope that Injustice 2 will do it. We'll see. I expect Tekken will have it. And something I really wish that KI had, but we'll see if more games do that. But for now, since SF5 is the game that's most available, I think that's what I'm mostly going to be doing. Is it possible that Daigo did poorly on purpose so that Capcom would buff Ryu? I would say not likely. Yeah. So before we go over the matches, I just wanted to sort of briefly introduce my thoughts on Daigo in SF5 and on Ryu in SF5. First of all, Daigo is very strong. He always has been. He is so good at experimenting with different play styles and figuring out sort of which one to play, but he always has this kind of risky edge to him. I think he has a reputation among a lot of people as being a very fundamental kind of player, and he certainly is excellent at that, but he will also take risks. I mean, that's where we get the term Ume Shoryu from. The random Dragon Punch from Umehara that seems to work. That's how we seem to. I don't know why we forget about that, but that's a very big part of his playstyle. But as SF5 Season 1 went on, you could see more and more that there was this extreme, I would say, economy of actions. It got to be where he was not active almost at all. He would block, he would hang out very defensively for quite a while. And that was kind of counter to how a lot of people were playing and still play Street Fighter V. A lot of people play it more offensively, thinking that they don't want to block. There's obviously gray damage that makes it risky to block. Even now in Season 2, that's more important, obviously. Sticks around for longer. So he was playing this style that was quite different from other people, but I think that style was kind of dictated to him by Ryu. So I thought Ryu was very strong when Season 1 launched, and I never thought he was bad. But as the game went on, I felt like his options became fewer and fewer, his effective options. When the game first came out, I thought he could do everything. I thought he could play footsies, zone, buttons, offense, defense. I thought he had all the things. As the game went on, I wasn't sure that he had footsies. To be frank, I wasn't sure that he had those mid-range buttons. And now in Season 2, that's even worse. They nerfed the range on things. They nerfed the hurt boxes on buttons. They slowed some of his buttons down. That's even worse, I think, than it was before. And at the same time, that patient style, the economical style, that's worse because gray damage is more relevant. So Daigo, I think, really had to change his style up. I don't think that was going to work out. you know, I think that that's something that kind of necessitated change from Daigo. I haven't watched him a ton in season 2, to be honest. So other than just the Topanga stuff, which again I'm not going to be showing. So part of why I want to review his matches is to get a better sense of, like, you know, what his adaptations have been in season 2. With Ryu having been nerfed, with his style probably not being as effective as a player in this game, and with, of course, you know, other characters are buffed. I mean, Ryu, the character, just in terms of character matchups, is probably in a worse situation now than he was before anyway. So I'm going to be looking at his matches against, here you go, Narikun Ibuki, Galtu Dictator. Galtu's so sick. MK Iwate, Balrog, and then like a few sort of general matches. Again, thanks so much to these YouTube channels. Please give them a follow and or a subscribe, I guess, on YouTube. It's so helpful to be able to watch videos whenever you have a spare couple of minutes. You get a better sense of players, you get a better sense of matchups, of options. You see things you wouldn't otherwise. You see characters you wouldn't otherwise. I play a certain set of characters, and so do my friends, and that's not every character. So in order to see every character, this is super, super helpful. I highly recommend doing it. Anyway, let me take a sip of this coffee. I've been making French press lately, and I am very, very pleased with my ability to do it. All right, well, Narikun Ibuki. Let's see how this goes. Let me know if the sound and everything is all right. Don't want it to be too loud. Yeah, Galtu versus Itazan. This is coming up in Topanga League. That is something to watch for sure. So, okay, well, I think in general, the way that I tend to do match video analysis is I want to let the rounds run and then go back and sort of analyze what happened. And I guess I'll do that. I just wanted to point out right at the very start what Daigo does. Wow, well, you know what? Like I said, I'll let the round run and then we'll go back and we'll like look through it and see exactly what it is that he's doing. I mean, you can see so far. I would describe it as, again, this sort of economy of options. Well, maybe not now. Oh, yeah? Well, I'm not really sure why that hit. I think she could have recovered in time, but that might be death for her. No, he didn't spin bar. Yeah. I like the pestering there. That was good. You gotta keep it up when you see your opponent is blocking too much. So immediately, right? Walk up and block. This is exactly what I meant by how he played in season 1. And it's sort of also the problem, I think, for you in season 2, is to see which option he brings out. It's sweep, right? Sweep is slow. It's quite unsafe. I'm not sure exactly what Ibuki's punish is for it, but every character has some. She could probably just slide. I don't know. Sweep. Whatever. She definitely has something. Narikun didn't do it. And you never know when you're watching online matches, like how well the, you know, internet connection was doing. You know, you can never really be sure. But that, I mean, sweep, you know, not a safe option. To think about Ryu's other options at this range. None of his buttons connect, right? They nerfed the range on some of them. So, I don't know, that's what he went for. It worked out, I guess. Or he didn't get punished, I should say. But here's, right, very similar range. Forward Fierce. Actually has a really strong hitbox on it. Like the hurtbox of his feet is it's not really there. Again, I'm not really sure why the Fierce hit. I really think she could have recovered. I wonder if she tried anti-air. No, I would have said counter hit. I didn't really know. In any case, I mean, you know, he makes the right choice in pressuring like that.
Round 2. Fight.
Again, super similar opening. Almost exactly the same opening, honestly. Yeah, okay, gotta get something. No, I don't know, what's rank 41 Narikun Ibuki doing right now? Yeah, dude, EX Kunai is ridiculous. You gotta do what you can do. If you can get out of that, if it takes V meter, do what you gotta do. He is so patient. Aye. Okay, had to cancel. Quite an unsafe string on block, so had to do something about it. Spend it? Yeah, might as well. Okay, could have been a cross up. That was the mix up. So now, if you're the Ibuki player, you know that Daigo wants like button activate super. Okay, EX, yeah, good stuff. All right, well let's go back a little bit here. Like I said, almost identical opening, right? Walk up, block, very patient, sweep, almost even the same timing on the sweep. And you know, the payoff is nice. It's a risk. He didn't get punished for it the first time. Maybe that's why he went for it again. But I think that's telling that in the start of both rounds so far, his options have been the same, and it's been with roundhouse, which is a ranged move, you know? He doesn't have many of those. Yeah, like I said, you gotta use that V meter. You have to, that EX Kudai is still good. That hurts me. That stand short was so fun in season 1. Look at this. Oh, he has no range at all. Why did they nerf that bud? I don't understand. Oh wait, they announced Swamp Thing? Is that real? Or are you guys screwing around? Let me know. Now I'm more interested in that than in watching Daigo. Anyway, to go back to this, it is real sick. He has Grundy and Doomsday normals. That makes sense. I feel like he would play like Grundy, right? I feel like he would have Swamp Hands. Like I feel like he'd play but they already have. Atrocitus already basically has Swamp Hands. Huh. Okay. All right. Let's take a little break here. Now you know what? Let me finish this Daigo match. Okay. Then I'm gonna move over to Injustice because I gotta see this thing. After this the Narikun Ibuki is over. So just to go back to this, you know, look at Daigo's options when he's at these ranges, right? He is so slow, right? You don't see him. Think about maybe how other characters would deal with it. Maybe they'd be pressing stand strong more. Maybe they'd be using their stand shorts more. You don't see that. Again, you see him walk forward block, it was the same opening. I mean, he saw Narikun doing something, so different result, but almost identical opening again. Okay. I like that. Oh, that stands short. There's no range. Well, okay. I'll wait until after this. But I'm surprised that he spends V meter as easily as he does. I mean, you gotta get out of it in some cases, like I was saying before. Okay, not the cross up. But Ryu is better in trigger now than he was. Like some of his frame data is unnerfed in that mode. Oh yeah. Okay. So you still have this. Let's see. It's like here, yeah. So that's nice, you know, to have stand medium kick that turns into damage. But you gotta have at least V meter. You gotta have at least V trigger, and for it to be really relevant, you gotta have super also. So that's, you know, once a round kind of thing. A couple times in a whole match, whole game, I guess. But you know, Daigo won. You know, I've been talking about this economy of options. Oftentimes when he won towards the end of season 2 or season 1, I was confused, you know, honestly, how it was that he was winning, because he was blocking so much, he was so patient, and then it just seemed like he found like 2 options and he won. And Ryu has damage output. Well, that's a little worse now, but still, damage output's fine. It's just how often do you get those hits? You know what I mean? Like, he's not some snowball of a character, especially now when throw loops are nerfed. So I thought that he would be playing maybe a little bit more actively, but I would not say he's been active so far.
Fight.
Okay, there's some difference. Yeah, wow. Roundhouse at that range. That's one thing I do like. I do like the back roundhouse. You know, the cancelable back roundhouse, you can link out of it. Oh, that was pretty sick actually. But I do like that tool. That's a nice buff for him. In combination with the other, it's probably not worth it overall, but it is cool. Yeah, really? Nice. I liked his opening. You know, the wait and then forward fierce. Oh, speaking of this, there you go. Yeah, she has some good stuff. And she has to spend meter for those mix-ups. She has to spend kunais for those mix-ups. But she does have access to both more often now than she did in Season 1, so that's cool. Oh wow, really? She went for it. So that's, well, I said I was gonna wait. Whatever. He'll do that. You know what I mean? He'll do wake up uppercut. Like, I don't know why people think he doesn't take risks. He definitely does. Not that that's bad. I think that's good. He should do that.
Final round. Fight.
So finally, quite a different opening. But again, when he gets into that sort of range, a third screen kind of thing, very, very minimal in terms of his options. He waits a lot. And it's not really a range that Ibuki harasses so well either. I mean, she got better at that range, but I wouldn't say she's like the best at that spot. Well, maybe it's a matchup thing, but I guess we'll see once we watch the other characters he plays against in these matches today. Not canceling. There it is. Dude, you gotta feel for him. When he tried to press something, that forward fierce, that's what got interrupted. Until that point, all this led from that. He died from that? Oh no. That was it. That was the moment. He went so long without challenging at that third quarter screen range. Right, couple of background analysis, that was really about it. And then, and that forward fierce, so slow. I don't want to characterize it as a bad move necessarily. Like I said, it's got a good hurt box, good minimal hurt box, good hitbox on it. Obviously, you can link out of it, it's cool. But it does take a while to start up, no doubt. Dang.
Ibuki wins.
I mean, you can see why he so rarely does active things at that spot. Okay. Not dissuaded. Well, you know, you can count on him not to get dissuaded, of all people. But he's very comfortable. That's so good. That crouching fierce. Oh yeah, did he get a little bit too ahead of himself? Oh, that's kind of cute. Oh, that's it. Oh, you can't get that. That overhead is a million frames. Like that overhead only works as a frame trap. Wow, look at this. Oh. Yeah, had to make a save. That, oh, okay. I don't think she can get under. No. EX slide? No? You don't think? I don't know. Let's go back and watch this round a little bit. A little bit more detail. So I do like the, you know, like I said, he will not get turned off from an option. I like that. The moving forward, it was from a range that was a little bit farther away than this forward fierce that got caught before. This though I really like. Crouching fierce. Bam. That is really good. And I well, maybe really good is an overstatement, but I like it a lot because it's a counter poke, right? I've been talking about how Ryu, dude, so typically Ryu has sort of active, controlling mid-range options. That's typically his style in most games. In Season 2, I don't really think that's it, and I think so far we've seen Daigo sort of play like that, right? Really only forward fierce, sweep, not safe, right? Forward fierce is quite slow. Stand meeting pick, if you have resources, will turn into stuff, but only when you have resources. So there's like really only a few options. So So instead, the idea of counter poking, the idea of playing sort of defensive footsies, right? Like there are different ways to play footsies. It's the general term, but then you can have sort of offensive, oppressive footsies. You can have defensive, counter poke heavy footsies, and that's what this Crouching Fierce is. He's doing this at a range where, first of all, that's very nice. He's doing this at a range where that Crouching Fierce is only going to work if Ibuki presses a button. Bam! Look at that. That was stand medium kick, I think. Very, very well placed. Very, very well placed. I think that's something that sort of the character requires, you know? So I like that a lot. I think that's a really good adaptation to how Ryu is in this version. And then, I mean, look. Other than that, like this is good stuff from Narikun. Oh, like I like this pressure a lot. Had to make it safe, obviously. Like I said, you don't think that? But yeah, no. Deeply reason, you're totally right. If Ibuki doesn't push a button there, he is definitely open for a whiff punish. Crouching Fierce takes a little while. It's not a terribly fast move, so it is a bit of a risk. But I feel like that's something that Ryu kind of has to do. You know, I feel like I mean, think about the other options that we've seen him use in mid-range. Forward Fierce, right? Quite slow. Sweep, punishable. Stand medium kick. It's a bet in the sense that if you're going to cancel, and we even saw the sweep, right? Sweep into cancel via trigger. That is a risk in the sense that you're betting your resources. So I don't really think that we've seen a riskless mid-range game out of Daigo's Ryu here, because that's not Daigo's fault. I feel like he's playing it well with the character that he has. Yeah, the Crouching Fierce, I don't know that I saw people do that in Season 1, but I imagine people were doing it. I might have just missed it. But I feel like, you know, Ryu, the character, kind of had the same issues in Season 1. They're just exacerbated now.
Round 2. Fight.
Nice block. Narikun had gone cross up, I think, almost every time. Maybe every time. Oh, what a good neutral jump. I guess that's why he's been doing it? Looking for that roundhouse? Again, forward fierce. I guess it shouldn't be fast, right? But it's just, it'd be nice if there were some other options to accompany it. That's a good button right there. That's stand medium kick. Okay. Look, oh, he didn't have meter to cancel. He was just doing that. Nice. Okay. All right. So again, I mean, what ends up being very, very important for him is, I mean, if you think about, right, think about damage output as not just being like in the moment. It's the culmination of what had happened. So if you know, this is, for example, we're talking about the forward fierce from, I think, the first game that we looked at, where Narikun hit it as it was coming out, and then it was a snowball, and like Daigo ended up losing the round. All of those later hits were because of that interaction, right? The crouching fierce beating the forward fierce, or crouching strong beating the forward fierce. So you gotta think about it like that. But think about like what it is that Daigo starts with in this series, right? Lots of defense, forward fierce, right? Slow, but he found exactly the right opportunity for it. Sweep, that's not safe, right? He didn't have V-trigger. Ibuki did. Again, I don't know what Ibuki's punish is for that sweep, but it's got to be something, because the sweep is like minus 14 or whatever it is. It's quite punishable. And she has trigger, so she would have been dangerous. You know, I'm looking it up right now, exactly what sweep is on block. Minus 11. Yeah. You know, Ibuki probably could have sealed the round if she had blocked. So I feel like you got to look at those as being like the big moments in that comeback, and neither one of those is easy to make happen. So Good stuff.
You win.
He did what he needed to do. All right, well, I want to check out, again, yeah, thanks to Dead Ace. Much obliged. Give him a subscribe over there. Let's head back into Daigo Umehara versus Galtu. So we saw Daigo play versus Ibuki. Ibuki's buttons, she has stand medium kick and roundhouse, and those are all right, but maybe not as strong as some buttons that Dictator has now. I feel like he has some really good footsies buttons. And although he doesn't have good walk speed, his buttons work at different ranges well enough that that's okay. If you're right up close, stand strong is super good. All right, very strong button. Stand short's good. 3 frames now. Stand jab still combos into itself, still good. I'm just looking up stand strong because I think it's plus. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's +2. And almost no pushback on it, so you can press like up to 3 stand strongs before you get pushed out too far. And then once you're out too far, stand fierce is there, stand medium kick is there, from even farther down toward fierce is there. He just has so many ranges where he can attack from, and even from further out. I mean, roundhouse scissors is good. EX scissors is better. You know, if he has trigger, I guess he can do slide into trigger. I feel like he can attack from so many different spots. So it's quite a different spot, quite a different situation than Ryu has. This is just online rank. This is not Topanga. Like I said, I don't want to do the Topanga matches without like asking them about it. You know, I just feel like that'd be a jerk move. So. All right, let's check it out. Let's see how this goes. Bam.
Fight.
Yeah, but I didn't even talk about ball. Ball is super. Look at that. He's so far away. And sweep. It's not a safe tool. And Bison gets nice punishes. Stand fierce into flames is basically from everywhere where you block sweep. Yeah, EX doubles. The movement's there. Okay, that was really good movement from Daigo. So that range. I mean, like I said, I'll let this run. Let me close this guy. But when we go back to look at this, wow, what a jump. I think you'll really see Daigo does not have comparatively strong mid-range tools. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Oh yeah? And he didn't link it. Come on, bub. Crouching strong though. Yeah, alright.
Round 2.
Oh.
Fight.
So we'll go back, not that far. Remember how I talked about how there are these different ranges that Bison controls so well. And even this distance, right there, look at that. When he started, look at how far away he is. That's a good half screen, you know? And yet he can still attack there. Like, you know, Ryu has a tool that attacks from half screen, it's Fireball. But it doesn't lead to a crush counter. So, okay, mid-range tool from Daigo, it's unsafe, but he went for it, took the risk. And you can see in the way that he's moving that he doesn't feel like he can play at that range, right? So we've seen him jump a couple of times when he's at that sort of half screen, third screen range. We've seen him try to fireball. We've seen him sweep, which is his longest range tool, but is quite unsafe. So those are, yeah, the dashing in, dashing out. Those are things that you do when you don't feel like you have like a strong mid-range control. That jump is ridiculous. That he went for that is so sick. It doesn't seem like much, but I think that's really cool. Nice. And then, yeah, you can attack from there. And one thing I really like about Galtu and other strong dictators is that they don't go nuts when it comes to V-trigger. I find myself unable to do anything other than stupid dashes when I'm in V-trigger with Bison. Because it's just so tempting, it's so sick. But when you look at a really good Bison player, it's more like that, more controlled, and he has good controls. Flames are safe, it's good. Yeah, look at this movement. It's very, very different than when he played against Ibuki, right? Much more movement based. Oh, interesting. Good pressure. I mean, if you don't feel like you have mid-range control, then one way to deal with it is to move on in. Wow, a couple of parries have gone awry. Really? Good block. Oh, that's it. That was really fast. Yikes.
Round 2. Fight.
I don't know why that worked. I don't know what it was Daigo was doing. But again, yeah, look at these dashes. Very movement-based, very jump-based. He's not competing on the ground in Footsie's range because he doesn't think he can, and he's probably right. Not as a player. Again, he's a super sick player. It's more the character's options. And so he adapts very well to his character's options. He's always been really, really good at that. Yeah, the parry attempt. I get it. You know, if you, again, Ryu has, yeah, I guess I haven't really talked about this, but parry is a potential tool to use as a counter poke. It's not obviously an active footsie tool where you're actively controlling. But like that crouching fierce I was talking about before, you can parry. Problem is that if you mistime it, you're gonna get your butt kicked. You're gonna get crushed at worst, or, you know, at best you have missed an opportunity. You haven't done anything. But probably you're gonna get punished. So it's a risk. Like much of his neutral game, as we've been talking about. Dash up what? I wonder if we can see this. Dash up into, I don't know. Hard to know what button that was gonna be, but whatever it was. Down toward fierce. There it is.
Fight.
So, just you guys are talking about Haku having V-trigger shenanigans. So, Bison's V-trigger is sick, right? I've gone through different feelings on it. When the game first launched, I thought it was like ridiculous. I was like, how did they leave this in the game? I thought it was so good. Didn't end up being that good, but part of it was, you know, that he has poor enough wake up that you have to spend via reversal if you want to get people off of you, and so you didn't often have trigger, not as often as you might, you know, would have wanted to. The other one is that you got to spend meter, EX meter, to make the big damage and crazy setups happen, because you still have to spend EX obviously when you're canceling special into special, and that's not that easy. But in season 2, I feel like those are less important than before, because like everybody has poor defense, so like everybody has to deal with this via reversal or V-trigger situation almost. He has better damage output in some ways anyway, so you build meter faster than you did before, and if you don't end up using m.bison, you're not as assed out because he has other buffs anyway, so it's like not as big of a deal. But yeah, dude, he definitely has some sick setups. And yeah, right, so important to point out, he gained a 3-frame button, so he now has, well, you know, tied for fastest button in the game. His stand short is 3 frames. That was buff. He didn't used to have that, so that's an important tool for sure. Oh, dude, that forward fierce, he makes that work. That was a buff. Well, we'll go back there. But that was a nice buff for Bison. That's what I was talking about. That stand strong, the stand fierce. That's it's not like a frame trap per se. It's just, it's at a range where most characters can't do much about it. Okay, we haven't seen him use that thing yet. And then the movement, you know, obviously Bison's big weakness is that he doesn't have walk speed. It's terrible, so he has to use other forms of movement. And Galtu is really good at doing that. John Galt. Just so good at harassing. I feel like he is so often at the right spot. And that's not easy with a character like Bison. But once you have that mastery of the character's movement, you can be good. Nice, the dashing. Again, dashing by Daigo because he doesn't feel like he can play on the ground. Okay, you know, you gotta take the risk sometimes. He wants that so badly. Oh, we'll go back and look at that. Oh, that's almost it. EX, yeah, that's it. Well, that was pretty convincing, I guess. Oh, too far. Wow, that was so fast that I went too far.
Fight.
Is it? I mean, I assume his name is an Ayn Rand reference, but I don't know. I don't know what the origin of it is. There's that parry we were talking about. So stand short combos to itself on counter hit. But that's important still. Yeah, so the wrist from Daigo. And then this sequence of he wants forward fear so badly. But think about why would Galtu have been hit by that? Look at this one. It's not like that's a range where you can throw, right? That's a range where as Bison, you press the button only because you're impatient or you sort of feel like it's your turn, but it's not like a strong mix-up, okay? It's not like Ryu could threaten with a grab here. And even if he did, he loses positioning after that now. There's no throw loops mid-screen. So I really like Galtu just hanging out, there was no reason for him to have done anything. Is right here. I think there were 3 forward fierces. 1, 2. He tried it again. Yeah. But from where he started it, look at this spot. Okay, so after that stand strong, he can't get a grab unless he walks up. So he just hangs out. That's very good defense by Galtu, very nice stuff. But it's also a product of him knowing what Ryu's options are there, and the options are not that great in terms of mix-ups. So, in that matchup, man, you could really see Daigo moving a lot more than when he played against Ibuki. Dashing more, jumping more. Because he doesn't keep up in the footsies war, So if your character doesn't keep up in the footsies war, you got to do other things. You got to dash, you got to jump, you have to move. You can't be at the spot where your opponent controls. And if you're not good at challenging that spot, instead you can move around it. You want to not be there. That's how you want to play. It's not to be at that spot, and that's what he was trying to do. But like I said, Galtu is so good at his own movement that he was consistently at the right spot. For me, there are 2 things that to me are the toughest about playing Dictator well, and he's the character that I've been playing second most after Keith, although I'm terrible with him for sure. One is finding how to get to the right spot because his walk speed is poor. I know he can do it, right? Because I've seen other people do it, but it's not easy to do. And then, like I said, the other one is not going too crazy when it comes to my V-Trick or BS, because I just gotta do it. Yeah, but don't you think that his name is based on John Galt? What else would Galtu be about? I don't know. Maybe is that a word in Japanese? I have no idea. That's just what I assumed. That'd be interesting to find out. Yeah, she is not my favorite writer. About scissors. Yeah, so right, our Dusk mentions, I do think that down forward fierce basically does what scissors does better. It covers a similar range, similar startup. It crush counters instead. It's not 2 hits, so it's not quite as view reversible, although totally you can view reversal the down toward fierce, but it's not quite as obvious. And it leaves you at advantage frames rather than being slightly negative like regular scissors is. About Bison overall, in last season, I thought that he was one of the worst characters. I thought he was bottom 5. Not that I thought he was absolutely terrible. I just thought that he was, in a list of characters that were probably not going to win any majors. And I don't think he ever did, with the exception of Phenom, who used him as an alternate a couple of times when he really won majors with Nikali. But he got some buffs. He definitely got better. He got a stand short as 3 frames, so his defense is better. Other characters' defense is worse, so his being bad by comparison is not as important. Effectively a buff if you want to think about it like that. EX ball is much better than it was before. The V skill reflect is much better than it was before. He's safer on some things than he was before. He has, actually invincible EX stomp when he's in trigger. He definitely got buffs. And at the same time, some other characters that gave him problems were nerfed a little bit. So anyway, you know what? I gotta re-up on coffee, so I'm gonna take a quick break. I will be right back. Stick around. Pew.